Hello you lovely people, and welcome to First Levels, a series where we explore the first levels of video games, old and new, and see what they do well and not so well. It's common knowledge that developers make their first levels last, so that they can include everything that they have learned over the course of development and that they leave the best impression possible on new players. We're going to start off with one of the greatest first levels in video game history, Hollywood Holocaust, in Duke Nukem 3D. Imagine it's 1996. You have become bored with mowing down thousands of demons in Doom, and you are looking for your next FPS fix. With Duke 3D, you were promised violence, pop culture references, and babes, and that's what you'll get. Then, you hear this.
Yes, man.
This looks good.
Oh,
fantastic.
What's
this?
3D realm.
Oh my
God, I can't wait to play.
It's guns and everything. Whoa, wait there. I ain't playing the DOSBox version. I'll play the Megaton edition because it's shiny and it's 2022. Don't judge me. Upon booting up Duke Nukem 3D, players would immediately hit New Game, the LA Meltdown episode, and probably the piece of cake difficulty level if you were a total pansy like me. You would be immediately thrust onto an LA rooftop and be greeted by a crashing sky car, and Duke saying that,
"Dad, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride."
These first few seconds establishes our situation, our enemy, and Duke's motives, while quickly getting the player moving around the level. The rooftop contains no enemies, so lets the player freely explore the small area before engaging in combat. Perceptive players will find a hidden ammo clip behind a box, letting the player know that there are rewards for exploration early in the level. They will also notice some propane tanks placed conveniently by an air vent. The player can either shoot the vent or the propane tanks, and potentially a painful lesson in doing so, and will realise that the environment can be interacted with via gunfire. The long drop to the floor will introduce fall damage and also the impressive verticality present in the game for its time. This fall also brings the player into the path of its first enemy, the humble assault trooper. A quick battle will ensue and the player is then free to explore and take in the detail of the large play space available. The most eye-catching area is the cinema entrance, with a semi-destroyed movie advertisement which obviously says, "At back of Blep Ched Lone Biker B1 Mate Say." Great movie, by the way. The player can see through a small window further into the level and also a crack on the inside wall. With no other way in, the player will likely try to explore down the street for a way around and, an ambush will occur with a pesky flying assault trooper. The player will think, "What, these can bloody fly? What's going on? Oh my god!" and then proceed to take out the enemy with minimal fuss. Those with a more eagle-eyed disposition will notice an atomic-like item on the building ledge and may turn around to see if there's a way up. The nearby box will act as a boost up to the ledge. After collecting the item and understanding its atomic health, the player may find some further secrets and further confirmation of the importance of exploring. The nearby windows can actually be entered through to find ammo for the RPG, steroids, and a security cam station. The ledge behind the box is also home to the secret RPG, with which new players may be clever enough to go back to the crack in the cinema entrance and make their own doorway inside. However, most players will take the conventional route around the back alley and into the cinema side entrance. Players will enter an impressive screening area and all the possibilities of conventional city building interiors will flood the player's mind of what could be ahead, as opposed to the sci-fi hallways and demonic landscapes of Doom. In the corridor behind the cinema, the player will also experience the environmental deformation from a scripted earthquake. The darkened lobby area also presents the player with multiple possible pathways to continue their exploration of the level, including toilets, the entrance area, seen previously, the staff room behind the counter, the spiral staircase to the projector, or the lift to the arcade. A notable area here is the bathroom, which contains many of the game's interactable objects. The urinals and toilets can be used to have a wee-wee,
Much better.
or destroyed for a refreshing drink. The mirror for an ego increase,
Damn, I'm looking good.
a duct for an alternative route to the projector room above, and even the light switches are usable to light the way ahead. All of this showcases the huge amount of interactable objects and environments present throughout the game and will again encourage exploration, many of which lead to secrets with useful items. From this point, the players can finish the level in multiple ways, with the most conventional being the lift to the arcade. This area has many more interactable objects and environmental destruction, this time revealing a shortcut back to the lobby area. The player will also encounter their first locked door, with a prompt that reads "Red access card required," a staple mechanic of early 90s shooters. Once the player finds the key to the projector room, they can then make their way through the final corridor, revealing the inviting red hue of the famous nuclear exit icon, and ultimately the level's exit. If the player has been extra vigilant, they can use a switch in the projector room to open the cinema screen curtains to reveal a teenager's wet dream and a familiar crack in the wall. If the player has obtained the RPG, this wall can be destroyed and a jetpack found, trivializing the path to the exit and eliminating the need for the red key, highlighting the fruits once again of proper exploration. One thing to note is that many of the game's support items can be found in the first level, including steroids, armor, first aid kits, jetpacks, and the Holoduke. With proper exploration and attention to detail, the player has a whole plethora of items and weapons to use in the very first level, which will also aid their journey in upcoming levels and challenges. The first level also contains many Easter eggs and pop culture references, a staple of the series. For example, the billboard in the first open area reads "Innocent" with a question mark painted in red. This is a reference to the O.J. Simpson trial, which was ongoing during the game's development and which will be referenced further in later levels of the game. There is also an arcade machine with the title Balls of Steel, which references a then upcoming pinball game also produced by 3D Realms and released in 1997. Also in the arcade area, there's an arcade machine for Duke Nukem 2, the platformer predecessor of Duke Nukem 3D. And once interacted with, Duke says,
Don't have time to play with myself.
The previously mentioned bathrooms also contain some Easter egg goodies. The leftmost urinal says 8675309 written on it, which is a reference to the song 8675309 or Jenny by Tommy Two-Tone. And the rightmost cubicle has a mysterious email address that reads strikermetronet.com. This was the email address for Alan Blum, the designer for many of Duke Nukem 3D's levels and considered the single most important contributor to the game, but don't try and send anything to the email address as it is now not in use. So there we have it. A great level in general, a fantastic level in introducing the player to many of the game's concepts, and one of the most fun levels in the entire game. I cannot stress enough how important this level is in easing the player into the game, and how important it is to have this kind of thought and effort put into the starting level of any game. This level took 7 to 8 months of development, in parallel to the development of the rest of the game, and as we said at the top of the video, we all know that developers should and do make their first level last, and this is a perfect example of why. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if there are any games' first levels you'd like me to take a look at. I very much appreciate your time and see you in the next one. Bye!